In Revi of this week's Parsha, we have the census of the tribe of Levi. And within that census, there's a very small, subtle change that, according to Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky, has a very large halachic implication. The structure of this aliyah is that it's a list of the names of the heads of the families of Levi. And it mentions, as part of that list, the family name that was derived from the name of the person who was at its head. For example, the family of Amram was known as Mishpachat Amrami. And this family and the families of Amram's brothers together composed the Mishpachot HaKahati, the families of Kahat. Another of Levi's three sons was Gershon. And interestingly, however, the Torah refers to his offspring as Mishpachot HaGershuni. The question arises as to why Gershon's name was changed to Gershon as opposed to Gershon for the purpose of naming his family. All of the other family names are established by simply adding a chirik, that dot, at the end of the name and adding the letter Yud. Kahat, Kahati, Amram, Amrami, Yitzhar, Yitzhari. Seemingly, it should have been that Gershon's descendants should have been named Gershoni. Why are they called Gershuni? Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky in his Emet LeYaakov sees this subtle change as the basis of a halacha and bases that idea on the fact that, according to him, Gershon may not have been Levi's son's real name. Rabbi Yaakov notes that the suffix of a vav nun would occasionally be appended to the end of a name to form a kind of nickname. So, for example, in Megillat Ruth, in the fourth parak, we're introduced to Boaz's father, Salma, who in the very next pasuk is called Salmon. Conceivably, Rabbi Yaakov suggests the same might have been true of Gershon. His original name may have been Gersha, and the suffix of Vav Nun was then added, resulting in Gershon. Therefore, the family name Gershuni is based not on the name Gershon, but on the original name, according to Rabbi Yaakov, of this son, Gersha. On this basis, Rabbi Yaakov suggests a possible reason for a controversial position of the Beit Shmuel and Even HaEzer, Huf Chavtet, who rules that if the name Gershon was written in a get without the letter Vav, that get is nevertheless valid despite how careful we must be in a get with spelling of names. Other authorities disagree with the Beit Shmuel, noting that nowhere in Tanakh is the name Gershon spelled without a vav. Seemingly, then, this would be an incorrect spelling and the get should be invalid. But Rabbi Yaakov suggested if the final vav nun at the end of the name Gershon is only an addition, if his name really was Gersha and not part of the actual name, it stands to reason that we may approach its spelling with much greater flexibility, and therefore ruled Rabbi Yaakov, even though the name is generally written with a vav, since the vav does not constitute part of the real name, its absence would not render the name's spelling incorrect, at least from a technical perspective, as far as a get's validity is concerned. All of this comes from Rabbi Yaakov's understanding of Mishpachot HaGershuni instead of Mishpachot HaGershoni.